Alright, what is up guys, NA4 here and welcome back to another ranking video, and today I'll be letting you guys know my personal top 10 favorite films of 2024. It's been a very interesting year for film, and let me just say, it might not be the right list, but it's my list, it's my personal preference, so I can't be wrong. It's been an interesting year, we've seen some highs and definitely some lows. We've seen some pretty bad movies this year, and I just want to give my honorable mention, and that's going to be Furiosa Mad Max Saga. And shame on everyone who just didn't give this movie a chance. This movie was fantastic, and it's great, man. It's a really good movie, very underrated. Didn't really perform as well as it should have, but I think it's going to be in the lines of like Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift and Scott Pilgrim versus the World, where it's like upon release didn't really make too much noise, but as the years went on, it became a bit of a classic. But yeah, going into my top 10 list, we're going to be starting off with number 10, Dune Part 2. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do a sequel, okay? More characters, better story, better action. It's just an improvement in every way, shape, and form. For anyone who had any problems with the first movie, you won't have any problems with this movie. It's just a better movie overall. It does everything better than its last one, and it's just a great movie, man. It's a very visually pleasing movie, and it does enough to make my top 10 list. So yeah, Dune Part 2, good movie. Going into my number 9 spot, we're going with The Substance. Now this one just might be the most interesting movie on this list. It's just very wild, man. This is just an interesting movie going experience, and it's one of those like creature features kind of like movies that we don't really see as much anymore. It's like a body horror kind of movie, and it works, man. This movie really works. It really makes you feel like, man, like aging sucks, man. Like you get so, bitter and insecure and things like that, and you just want to like stay in your prime, stay in your glory days, and that's what this movie really highlights, and I love it, man. A really good movie, does enough to make the list. So my number 8 spot is going to go with Terrifier 3, a great horror Christmas movie, and it's just made by people who understand the assignment, man. The budget keeps increasing, people are just going to watch these movies, and it's not for everyone, but it's definitely an interesting movie going experience. These movies are disgusting, they don't hold anything back, and people love it, man. It's a good time, and it's just enjoyable, all things considered. And the fact that this movie can say that it outperformed Joker 2 at the box office is absolutely nuts. But yeah, man, Terrifier 3 was just a really fun, just disgusting, disturbing, but very interesting movie. It works. And the possibilities are just endless with this series, man. If they can keep it going, I think it's just going to continue to make more money again and again and again. It just keeps, drawing eyes, and it's doing good numbers. So yeah, going into my number 7 spot, the very underrated movie, The Fall Guy. Now, if you are looking for a movie that has action, adventure, romance, and very good comedy, and a really, really, really good soundtrack, this is the movie for you, okay? I love and adore this movie, and I'm so upset that people just didn't go watch it. It didn't perform as well as it should have, and I'm so upset about it. And I feel like Emily Blunt just doesn't really get enough appreciation, man. I feel like a lot of the movies that she's in just underperforms at the box office, and I'm sick of it, man. She's great. This was such a good movie, man. Just, if you're a film buff, watch this movie beginning to end. It's filled with lots of references, Easter eggs, and it's just so fun from beginning to end. Just a very interesting, fun movie, and it's just a really, really good time, man. Just go watch it. Please go watch it. And in my number 6 spot, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Wicked, because why not? Now this movie here is an interesting one, because I'll be honest, it wasn't a movie that I was necessarily anticipating or was like dying to go see, but this movie was everywhere. Like, you could not avoid it. No matter if you went on any form of social media or TV, you were gonna see this movie somewhere. And honestly, I have nothing negative to say about it. But I will say, I think a lot of the reason why this movie succeeded was because of Ariana Grande. I think just her fan base and just her overall star power was enough to draw eyes to this movie. And I can't even hate on it, man. This movie, it was funny. It was entertaining. It's a very visually pleasing movie. You can tell that there was a lot of thought and care put into it. So yeah, it does enough. In my number 5 spot, I'm going to go with Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, in my humble opinion, I do think this movie is just ever so slightly overrated. But I think it's just due to the fact that if you didn't watch a lot of those older Marvel, Sony films, or a lot of the TV shows that recently came out on Disney Plus, a lot of these jokes and references will just completely go over your head. So, it's probably not for everyone, but I do think this movie is just really fun, man. It's action packed. It's, has so many just funny moments, and you get Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman just complimenting each other so well. And, it's not all just, just jokes and blood and stuff. There's lots of emotion and care into this movie, and it's just fan service up to the roof. So I really do enjoy this movie, and, there's a reason why this movie was breaking records. It was everywhere. Deadpool and Wolverine had to be on the list. And going into my number 4 spot, I'm going to go ahead and go with Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, this movie here is the ultimate fan service, okay? And whether you just like the previous 2 movies or you played the games, there's something in here for everybody. It's not just for the guys, it's not for the girls, it's not for the men, it's not for the women. It's for everybody to enjoy. It's a good family film, and it's definitely the darkest of the Sonic films so far, but it works. Everyone has been anxiously awaiting Shadow, and he delivers on every freaking thing. And Keanu Reeves just gives it his all. He's a great addition, and it's, in my opinion at least, the best of the trilogy so far. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, so much potential, great movie. So yeah. In my 3rd spot, getting the bronze medal, We Live in Time. Now, this right here is just a great movie, man. It's so endearing, it's so emotional, and I loved it. It was a movie that I was looking forward to, and it did deliver on everything that I wanted and more. And let's just say this, man, you get Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh, 2 very, very lovable people in the same movie together. Magic. Straight magic. And it really just makes you appreciate life, man. Don't take anything for granted. Enjoy yourself. And it's just so good, man. Like, I genuinely can't think of it much to say anything negative about this film. And in my number 2 spot, getting the silver medal, Anora. Great film. Now, Mikey Madison just puts on the performance of a lifetime, all right? And this movie is just living proof that you don't need a freaking $200 million budget to make a good movie. This movie was enjoyable from beginning to end. And I do want to say shout out to TikTok, man. TikTok was a big influence for me actually going to go watch this movie, because I was kind of on the fence. But I am so glad I went to watch this movie, man. It's just filled with brilliant performances, a very, very, very intriguing story. And it's such a good movie, man. It's just so much comedy, so much just drama and depth into these characters. You see why they're doing what they're doing, why they feel the way that they feel. And honestly, it doesn't hold anything back, man. The language, the nudity, it's all there. But yeah, in my number 1 spot, getting the gold, I'm going to go with Alien Romulus. Not gonna lie, Alien Romulus really did surprise me, because I'm not the biggest Alien fan. I'm not like a super diehard fan of the Alien franchise or anything like that, but this movie is fantastic, okay? It just has everything in a movie that I like. Action, adventure, compelling characters, and it's just a thrilling movie from beginning to end, man. It's not just pointless action. You understand why they're doing what they're doing, and the emotion, the acting, just everything about this movie, the visual effects, the practical effects. I just love and adore this movie. It is now a classic for me, instant classic. And if you haven't seen it, please do yourself a favor and watch this movie. It is just entertainment from beginning to end, and it's an easy watch, man. Just, do yourself a favor. And am I going to be a little biased because I think freaking Kaylee Spaney is absolutely gorgeous? Maybe, but that's besides the point. But yeah, ladies and gents, that's my top 10 films of 2024.